Hello and welcome back to Arcurus Plays Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. Now, when last we'd left off, we'd gone through the beginning cutscene where we were ambushed by another mercenary company and our father died, making sure that we could get out. Now, we're also being blockaded into the system and we need to figure out a way to get out, and Commander Rihanna has some contacts that are trying to help us get out. So we're just doing a couple of missions to help facilitate that escape.
Hey, boss man, that was quite the haul you brought back. Gonna make the repairs a bit easier now. But don't go getting stars in your eyes or nothing. I'm overworked as it is, and this shit needs a lot of loving, eh? So your Centurion is still gonna take plenty of time to fix. But yeah, like I said, nice job out there. Your old man will be proud. Now if there's nothing else, gonna get back at it, alright? Lot of work to do. Story of my life.
Alright, let's get back up there to Rihanna.
Good work with those raiders, Commander. While you were planetside, I got word from Spears about the plan he's put in place for us. Take a listen.
Rihanna, Commander, good news. I think I can get you safely past the blockade with the aid of a local mining company. To make everything work, I'm gonna have to find you guys a recycled mercenary identification number. A new identity, essentially. Nyx Cavaliers, for all intents and purposes, no longer exists. I'll match that number to a new name of your choosing once the time comes. So, think about what you want to call yourselves. While I arrange that, you're gonna have to do a little work for the mining company in exchange for their cooperation. If things go well, they've agreed to hire you to transport some precious cargo out of the system, aboard an inbound jump ship. Using the new mercenary ID and with a legitimate contract in hand, you should have no problem slipping through the blockade. I've attached the particulars to this message. I'll be in touch once you've completed the mission. Good luck.
I already reviewed the information Spears sent. The mission is a straight-up protect and defend op. Seems these raiders have been harassing the mining company, among others. Stealing from them, extorting them, killing innocent civilians when their demands weren't met. I've uploaded the pertinent details into the mission briefing, so I won't repeat them here. You're good to launch any time, Commander.
Roger that. I'll see you on the other side.
Alright. The mining company settlement is vulnerable to radio attack, Commander, so we've got to protect it. I'll drop you in at a safe distance. Once on the ground, head there and defend it. Should be a simple in and out mission, but no plan survives contact with the enemy. As the saying goes, so be prepared for whatever comes. Good luck. Another 50,000 sea bills. Let's go ahead and take this contract. The mining company settlement is vulnerable to raider attack, so you've got to protect it. Once on the ground, head there and defend it. Should be a simple in and out. Okay, 200 sea bill payout. It's only one negotiation point. We'll double that.
Heads up, Commander. Where the conditions in the area
Oh, crap.
visibility.
Crap. Okay, let's repair this mech. And then let's advance the timeline until the javelin's done. There we go. I forgot to repair the javelin, but luckily we can do that. So let's go ahead and drop. There's going to be snow, which is going to reduce visibility, but that shouldn't be too bad.
Attention. Prepare for Battletech departure. Warning. Hangar doors opening. Stand clear.
I'm going to bring up the Y battle mechs again, and I just hope that
Okay, Commander.
Rihanna shuts up long enough for me to talk about it.
Overall strength or sheer numbers. keep a sharp lookout for enemy units on your approach to that settlement.
Got Copy that.
I kind of like the 80s vibe that the music's got going on. Bit of synths, a little bit of old style glam rock. Usually, Piranha's music style is what I would call butt rock.
There's the settlement up ahead, Commander. Looks like the raiders have already begun their attack. Get in there and protect those civilians.
Which to me is like really amateurish, not very good rock and
Please
roll.
help us. The raiders are attacking our settlement. There are women and children here.
Brianna, something's interfering with my sensors.
I think the raiders have set up some sort of jamming device nearby. I'll see if I can locate it.
Ooh, SRM launcher. Nope, that's an SRM-20. That goes. So short-range missiles are incredibly deadly.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
And SRM-20 means they have 20 missile launchers. Usually on mechs, SRMs only go up to 6.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Side needs to go away as quickly as possible.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Yeah, there's one right over here. Stuck on the rocks. AC-5. Autocannon 5,
Destroyed.
that's dangerous. We killed everything yet?
Target
Nope.
acquired.
SRM-20. Nope, too far. Oh, we just barely tickled them.
Target
There we
destroyed.
go.
Target acquired.
Okay. Another scorpion.
Nice work. These civilians are safe for the moment. Unfortunately, it appears the raiders aren't done causing trouble just yet. They're headed for the company's main processing facility on the other side of the mountain. You need to get there and thwart that attack, Commander.
Understood.
Alright, as per WiMAX, it really follows kind of a, how would I put it, a Socratic exercise. So, in a lot of ways, tech in the Battletech universe is stuck in the late 70s, early 80s. So you kind of have like a really retro future vibe. So, unlike today where there's like mass connected sensors that basically let all units know, you know, where everybody is, you know, data link for targeting data and that sort of thing, radar sharing. The Battletech universe doesn't have that. As well as it seems that Battletech doesn't have shaped charges. Which are how missiles are able to basically, like, fuck your armor.
Brianna, my sensors are getting worse.
The jamming device the raiders set up is at the top of this pass, Commander. You're going to have to manage as best you can until you're able to take it out.
So without technologies like that, and then when you start thinking about... Take this guy down. Oh. Take an AC-5 fire to the face. I don't like that.
Target acquired.
Little small laser turret there.
Target destroyed.
Come on, let's take this thing out.
Okay. With that jamming device eliminated, your sensors should have cleared up.
Yeah, much better.
Your onboard raiders should also be operational now. You'll be able to detect enemies at a significant distance. Just in time, too. That mining facility is getting hit hard, Commander.
So then, humanity achieved spaceflight in the mid 2000s. And I'm talking like 2050, 2060 or something like that. I don't know the actual year. But a funny joke in the Battletech community is calling up General Electric, because they're in the Battletech universe. General Electric created fusion. You know, fusion power. So a funny meme is to call up General Electric and ask them how they're doing on that fusion reactor, because it actually should have been out by now if our timeline followed the Battletech timeline. Oh no, no, no! Ooh. Kill those as quickly as possible. Ignore everything else. Start killing tanks. Especially tanks with machine guns. Machine guns are really good at killing structures in this game.
Enemy VTOLs inbound on your position,
I
Commander.
do not care about the VTOLs that
That
much.
Igor is a piece of heavy machinery with tons of firepower.
The Igor, though.
If left unchecked, it will do a lot of damage to the settlement. You should prioritize taking it out of
Yes, I did.
enemies.
Igors have like quad autocannons, which makes them very deadly.
Good work, Commander. That should make the mining company happy. Prepare for exfil. I'm on my way.
Alright, cool. But anyways, so like we achieved spaceflight and with the fusion drive, and then we achieved interstellar spaceflight quite early. I think in the 2100s. And you know, we started spreading across the stars, but militarily, the real power in the universe was the battleship. Like, the space battleship. Because, like, what are you gonna do on the ground, right? When you have something that could shoot at you from orbit, and then, like, nuclear weapons, nuclear shells, that sort of thing. So, that happened for a while, until something called the Ares Convention was come up with. And the Ares Convention is basically like, you know, our international laws of war, or people would call them the Geneva Convention for us. So basically, it restricted spaceships, especially battleships, away from interfering with ground combat, or at least curbing the use of nuclear weapons as conventional solutions. Oh, we took some structure damage in our leg that mission. Outstanding job. Those raiders were intent on shutting down the entire mining operation, and that mobile jamming tower almost put a spanner in the works. Luckily it didn't, thanks to you. There's a lot of people down there that owe you their lives tonight, Commander. As for what happens now, Spears has been in touch. It seems we have one more mission to execute before the mining company will sign off on the transport contract. We need that contract to cover to get past the blockade, so we don't have much choice but to do as they ask. Come see me when you've cleaned up, and I'll give you the full rundown. Oh, 50,000 C-bills. But anyways, so the Ares Convention basically sets up rules of war, you know, interstellar rules of war. And everybody's looking for, you know, the next silver bullet, you know, when it comes to warfighting technologies. And the real step forward came in when Mechwarrior was discovered. Now, Mechwarrior is basically the muscles of a mech. Mechwarrior is a material that when you run electricity through it, it contracts or expands. I think it expands when it cools and contracts when it, but basically it contracts when you run electric current through it. And basically works like a human muscle. So when you talk about the structure of a mech, so this mech has structural damage. So I'll go to the loadout here. And you see you have armor and structure. Think of the structure as the skeleton, The Malmer bundles are the muscles that actually make it move. So each mech has like a fusion reactor on it, and that's what creates all the power to actually run the mech. In fact, half the time mechs don't come up as salvage is because when you destroy the center torso, and I'll kind of explain how mechs work, damage-wise right now. Usually the reactor explodes and makes it so you can't salvage it. But anyways, let's hit repair all on this. We'll go ahead and start work. But with Malmer bundles, they first created, what we would consider, like mechs that were basically forklifts. And those are typically called proto-mechs or industrial mechs. And eventually someone was like, well, we can strap weapons and armor to this. And that's how the mech known as the Mackie was born. It was the first. And it did so well in its first combat trial, which probably is down to the pilot rather than the machine itself. It caused a craze for designing new designs and the proliferation of the battle mech. So, in a war where a warship can't just nuke you from orbit or hit you with orbital bombardment, infantry and tanks became viable again, and then aerospace fighters. Now, regular air assets are still good, but aerospace fighters aren't limited by the Ares conventions, which means that you basically don't have fighter bombers bombing mechs, even though they're big targets. So the mech is a whole lot tougher than any other armored unit in existence. It carries much heavier weapons. It's, they're walking machines of mass destruction. And that's why this universe has battle mechs. So finally the Y mechs, when they're completely, when in our world as a technology, they're completely, anachronistic. And our Centurion's done, by the by. Let's take a look at our Centurion. Let's make sure our weapon groups are the way I like it. Okay, our autocannon 10's on my left mouse button. Medium lasers are on the right mouse button. On my middle mouse button, I have my long-range missiles. They are stream missiles, so they fire one missile after another. This makes them... they have less alpha damage, but they're more accurate. You're going to hit with more missiles. So, and then we have our melee on 5, which I'm going to have to escape out and go to my controls. And let's go mouse and keyboard, and let's look at where 5 is. Weapon group 5 is not bound to what I want it bound to. Although you should be middle mouse button, my friend. Yep, you go middle mouse button. Weapon group 4 can stay that, and melee can be this. There are other keys to do the airstrikes, so I am not worried about redoing that. And I can use my mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out. The original middle button, mouse wheel button would put you into a specific zoom. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. Now our mechs are going to work like we want them to. And this is going to make for a shorter episode, but for these beginning episodes, I'm just getting my bearings. But we are going to, I think, finish the last tutorial mission in the next episode. And then we're going to get on to the meat and potatoes of our playthrough, So, thank you for watching. This is Arcurus, signing off.